All right, so let's do database first with Entity Framework. So far in class, we've been doing code first, and what I mean by that is we have written classes for all of our tables. So this would be the blog, which will become a blog table, and then in code we decide what columns it has, what relationships it has, and then we do a migration, and the migrations are what is going to be written to the database. But what happens if you already have a database? So in some cases, it could be that you're at your job and they already have a database set up that takes in data. They don't want you to start a new one. They want you to use the one that they already have. All right, that's a thing. All right, and Entity Framework has got you. And also, in the latest version of Entity Framework, they make it way more easy than they used to. All right, so let's look at this Business DB right here. So here's Business DB. And Business DB is already existing. It means we did not create this entity framework. It just existed from what other means that it exists. And it's got two tables. One's department and one's employee. So what we'd like to do is be able to import, really we want to import this database and its tables into Entity Framework so that we have classes and models that we can use. So Entity Framework can help us. And like I said, it's a lot easier than it used to be. So we're going to do a command. It's going to be this. So I put it in Slack. Scaffold -db context is the main thing. Scaffold, we're going to basically take the information and automatically create everything. Then we've got the database connection, and then I want business DB. So this has to be the name of the database you're importing, and then SQL Server. So like any framework record on SQL Server. Hyphen context dir means what directory. Dir is directory. Well, we put the context I want in my data folder, and then where do you want the models output directory? I want them in my models folder. So let's take a look at what happens when I run this. So Bill succeeded, blah 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 blah. All right, and so look, it created a business DB context, and it created an employee model and a department model for me. So what happened? So Entity Framework did all the work for me. So this DB context, business DB context, is everything it needs to connect to this business DB database. And you'll notice that if you go down, see how it has departments and employees already set up for us. And also it's got the department. See how it's got ID, name, and location. And then we go into SQL. Compare the two. See how this has ID, that has ID, this has name, that has name, this has location, that has location. It matches them up. Why? Because it imported this table. It basically took this table schema and converted it into a C# class, right? Which is awesome. That saves a ton of time. So you don't have to type all this out. If you had to, you instead have Entity Framework run that command. Okay, just it's in Slack, so just copy and paste it somewhere. Put it in Notepad. Have it around. You're going to use it. So it's like I said, it's just that simple. So we have an employee class and then a department class and a business DB context. Now, the only thing you have to remember that might be slightly tricky is remember in program.cs, if you're going to use that business DB context, you're going to have to put it, oops, I didn't mean to put the slash there. You're going to have to basically take line 6 like this, and we're going to do business DB context. Okay, remember, program.cs is the setup for the app. This part right here is dependency injection. I need to tell the program like how does it make a business DB context? It doesn't know that off the bat. The other thing I would recommend is putting the connection string inside the app settings. So for example, I'm going to put business DB. Not context, just DB. How about that? Yeah, that's fine. So you'll notice that in the context class, it's got this right here, which we kind of don't want here. We want it in the app settings. So I'm just going to go ahead and move this. So I'm going to take this connection string, and I'm going to put it in app settings. We already have one connection string, so I'm going to do another one. So we're going to call this business DB. I'm going to take that stuff I already copied over. All right, this is how it'll connect to the business DB. All right, so you can have multiple connection strings because you might have multiple databases. In a real world app, you might use 2 or 3 different databases in addition to any external APIs. So, like, that's a thing. So this is kind of cool because you have different connection strings for different databases, and they're all marked by the name here. So you see I have business DB here, and then I have business DB here to have that capitalized and make this capitalized. Cool. So it's right here, so that's how it knows where to get that connection string from. And so now we can use this business DB context anywhere in the app we want. We can even go back and just get rid of this. It's on configuring. We don't need this. Okay, it's completely gone. Now you're saying, Jonathan, what do you mean by I can use the business DB context anywhere? See how you're using application DB context? Well, now you can do this. You use exactly the same pattern. Okay, that's a private variable, so we're going to put an underscore in front of it. And then in the constructor, you just add it. And make sure you set one equal to the other, and then bam, now you can use the business DB context anywhere in this controller. Okay, so remember, how does it know where to get this from? Program.cs, we put it on line 7. This is how it knows how to get a business DB context. So it will go here and be like, okay, if this is what you want, then that's great. Then we can use it in the controller. So that way, if you had to use multiple databases, it's really super simple. All right, so like I said, the main event is remembering to use this command, and then that's pretty much it. All you gotta do is like a little tweaking as far as the connections settings are concerned, but other than that, database first is extremely easy.